What is going on, everyone? It is your boy CJR Sports, and today we're coming back to you with another video. Before we get started, make sure you like this video, especially if you're a New York Giants fan, and subscribe, especially if you're a New York Giants fan. If you want more videos like these, where we're just talking about certain teams and all the news and everything going on in the NFL, make sure you hit the notifications button because we're putting out 6 to 8 videos every single day, and so you don't want to miss anything. Now, let's get right into this video. So, as you see, the player on your screen is Saquon Barkley. We've been talking a lot about Saquon Barkley, especially on the Giants podcast that I do. What it seems like is NFL.com, so the NFL, predict that Saquon's going to go back to his 2018 Rookie of the Year state, and he's going to be the Giants MVP this year. So there's something that was written about him that I want to read to you guys out loud, and I want your opinion. So if Big Blue is going to stun everyone, Barkley will be at the forefront of that effort. Since his dynamic rookie season, NFL best 2,028 scrimmage yards at running back, has missed 21 games and never looked fully back to healthy from his ACL tear last season. But if he can return to the form in 2022, Barkley is a dual threat weapon who can control games and be the ideal security blanket for Daniel Jones. He hasn't seen the real Saquon Barkley in years, the man with the Barry Sanders type moves in the open field who can burn past defensive backs. And what amounts to a make it or break it campaign, here betting Barkley can get back on track. So one thing that really stood out to me is we're still comparing Saquon Barkley to Barry Sanders, which to me is wild. Barry Sanders, you can argue, is the best running back of all time, if not top 3. He missed 21 games. Saquon's missed 21 games. He had a high ankle sprain, which I was at that game against Tampa Bay. That was Daniel Jones' first start. He had the high ankle sprain. He was out for 6 weeks, I believe, 5 weeks. Following season, ACL. And then even when he was coming back from the high ankle sprain, he still looked not 100%. So, betting on Saquon Barkley this year, and what everyone's been saying in around the facility and OTAs and minicamp, that he looks like his form. Sterling Shepard and Nick Gates, people from his draft class, saying he looks back to that form. And so one thing kind of is leading to another, and I just want to say it's a pretty good bet to go with Barkley if you think he's going to be the team's MVP. With Brian Daboll calling plays in that system, they're saying that he's going to kind of go back to that form where he's going to be that dual threat, where people that have been going to the facility and watching minicamp and OTAs saying that he's lining up all over the offense. He's not just in the backfield. He's lining out wide, in the slot, bunch. He's lining up everywhere. So he's going to be a legit dual threat player. And I'm excited for this. What Saquon did the best that season was the passing game, and that really almost led him be able to run through the tackles. And I know that kind of sounds weird because usually the run opens up the pass, but like for Saquon, it was like the pass kind of opened up the run. People had to respect him in the passing game as much as they had to respect him running through the guards and the tackles. He's truly a special player when he's 100%. He just needs to be back to that form. And when everyone's saying he's getting back to that form, and when Brian Daboll is lining him up all over the field, that gives me a lot of courage knowing that he's slowly coming back to that Saquon that we saw in 2018. And personally, I don't like paying running backs. I would pay this guy. He is that good and can be that good for as long as he can stay healthy. I think he had that major injury out of the way. He got that major injury out of the way. I think and I hope he can be healthy for his entire rest of his career. If that's the case, I want to be able to extend Saquon Barkley this offseason. But before we, before we even get there, if you really look behind Saquon Barkley, there's not competition. You have Matt Breida, who's kind of just back there. He's been around Brian Daboll. He knows the scheme. He knows the system. I think he's really there to mentor and help Saquon. And then we have second-year player Gary Brightwell, who's mainly going to be on the roster just for special teams. He's not going to, he's going to probably be our third string, maybe fourth string running back if we decide to either trade for Myles Gaskins for Darius Slayton, something funny like that, or if we decide to, sign someone else in free agency, which I don't really expect we do. But he's expected to be the team's MVP according to NFL.com, and I hope he is. And if he is, that means this team should be going somewhere. One thing I want to follow up before we end this video is when the Giants were, I guess, the best of their offense, is now when, at the time in 2018, wasn't when Eli Manning was throwing the football, is when Saquon Barkley had the ball in his hand, if that was getting the ball out of the backfield or receiving the ball. He was special with the ball in his hands, and we need to go back to that. Daniel Jones is going to be successful if Saquon has the ball in his hands. I think we have more playmakers around this team in 2022 than we did in 2018 because we only really had Odell and Shep. Now we kind of have Kenny Golladay, still Shep, Wandale, Kadarius Toney, Saquon. So I think we may have a little bit more pieces around this team, and I think that could really help Saquon and Daniel Jones in this offense prevail with a healthy Saquon. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like these. And it's your boy, CJ Sports, and I'm out. Peace, guys.